أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد آل محمد وعجل فرجهم وسهل مخرجهم واحشرنا معهم وارزقنا شفاعتهم اللهم صل على محمد آل محمد وعجل فرجهم اللهم صل على محمد آل محمد الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المنتجبين المنتخبين لا سيما بعد أما بعد فقد قال سبحانه وتبارك وتعالى بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الدين عند الله الإسلام. Now we are reaching up to our 20th episode, and today is the 27th of November. In this episode we will cover the contribution of Shias in unity of Muslims, because many a times different types of allegations are put on them, what role they have played in the Muslim unity, and or important of all, on few occasions the questions are also asked that when Imam Ali was on his rightful right, and when he became the Caliph in the fourth place, why he did not take back for that, or why he not introduced Muta in the Muslim Ummah in general, because it was already in practice with the Shias. It did not stop. But why he did not revoke the rule of Hazrat Umar on Muta, and so on and so forth. There are many things that come up on those lines. Why he did not take Fadak back, or why he did not reintroduce his Quran with commentary, because Quran, whether it was with Imam Ali or with us today, is same. But what is the difference between what he brought was Quran with tafsir, with each and every ayat, when revealed, where revealed, at what time revealed, for whom revealed, whether it was general, khas, specific, mutlaq, absolute, muqayyad, conditional, nasikh, abrogating, mansukh, abrogated, and there were ayat which were ibar wal amsal, like parables, metaphors, on occasions, as darabul amsal, Allah says in Quran Majid on occasions. So this was all the Quran, in that Quran as commentary. It was not part of Quran, it was part of commentary. Quran, the text was same as which we have today. But even then he did not reintroduce when he became the ruler. So we find that Aimma alayhi salam have always paid stress on the Muslim unity, and they did not want anything to come as a division between the Muslims, especially and specifically from their any act or deed or word even. So we find in Nahjul Balagha, first of all we see that Rasul Akram sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has given the parable, the zarb of Imam alayhi salam with Hazrat Musa to Harun. To me, Ali is same as how Harun was to Musa. So we find that this is the tradition of Harun in Quran Majid, which has preserved it, recorded it, saved it, and that is in Surah Al-Taha, ayah number 94, which says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال يا ابن أم لا تأخذ بلحيتي ولا براسي. My dear friend, do not hold my beard nor my hair, nor my beard, because after the event of Samiri, and after coming back from Kohtur, the Mount of Thor, when Hazrat Musa saw what the Ummah was doing, he held Harun's hair and the beard, asking, what have you done? So the reply which Harun has given is recorded in Quran Majid, and the same it has been reflected in the Sirah of Amirul Mu'minin Salam, that why he did not ask it. So let us see what the ayat says. It says, قال يا ابن أم La taquz, O brother of my mother, La taquz, don't hold bilhiyati, my hair, wala birasi, and my head and beard. Inni khashitu, I feared, an taqul, that you will say that farraqta bayna bani Israel wa lam tarqub qawli, that I feared that you may say that I have put a division, a sect, a division in Bani Israel. So out of that fear, I kept quiet. Now, if you look and reflect into this ayat and the Hadith Sharif of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, which is universal among all, acceptable by all Muslims, whether they are of any Sunni schools or Shia traditions. The Hadith is correct. So when this Hadith is correct, we see what Quran has said and what Hazrat Harun alayhi salam has said to Hazrat Musa. So the same has been reflected in the Seerah of Rasul Imam alayhi salam, that although there was fadak, there was hummus, which he did not reintroduce in the entire Ummah, the Shias were giving. But it was not the matter of he made it as a law for all Muslims to pay hummus along with zakat, or the broad umbrella of zakat also covers khums as well, linguistically and theologically, if you look into it. So we find that Imam Ali has not done anything new to reintroduce, so that it may come for a sort of a division within the Muslim Ummah. And that's what Imam Ali has explicitly mentioned in his letter number 78 too. If you look, say letter number 78 in Nahjul Balagha, and you look and ponder over the ayat which I have quoted just now, the Surah Taha, ayat number 94, then we will find that the letter says to the Ummah that by God, I will never allow any division within the Muslims, and I will always work for unity, because I feel and I fear. Imam Ali said, to me, unity of, in the letter 78, he says, to me the unity of Muslims is of the utmost importance, because Ali feels that there is a great success for him in maintaining, preserving, strengthening the unity of Muslims. So this has been the practice and seerah of Aminul Salam. Now when you see to this seerah in the light of the ayah Sharifah which we have quoted, and Surah Taha 94, that 20th chapter, ayat 94, and Hadith Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that Ali is to me what Harun was to Musa Alayhi Salam. So we find that Imam Ali has not done, had not even revoked Taraweeh, because it may even also cause a sort of division within Muslims, because some may offer, some may obey him. So he did not go for that as well. The next to come, we see, and also moreover, we see in the person of Imam alayhi salam, all the schools of mysticism, they converge into his leadership, in his leadership of Irfan and Taharat al-Qalbi, Aminul Mu'mineen, in mystic schools, all schools of mysticism. Now next comes, after Imam Ali, we see the seerah of Imam Hassan Mujtaba alayhi salam. For the sake of Muslim Ummah, he felt the brunt, but he bared it for going for the peace treaty. The peace treaty with the Syrian ruler. And important of all, we see that Sayyid al-Shuhada Abu Abdullah Salam, for whom all Muslims converge at his person and his martyrdom, and not only Muslims but even the non-Muslims, all mankind is congregated around Sayyid al-Shuhada Abu Abdullah Hussain alayhi salam, and for which the Josh Maliawadi has to say, Insan ko bedar to ho lene do, Insan ko bedar to ho lene do, har qaum pukaregi hamare Hussain. Let all mankind get the awareness, they become aware, so that they all may call, to them belong Hussain, and they belong to Hussain. And after his Sayyid Shuhada, we see that how Imam Ali ibn Salam has preserved the unity of Muslims in the form of dua, which we find dua number 27 in Saifatul Kamilatul Sajjadiyah for the border security forces, for those who are preserving the Muslim borders. We should know that they are the same people at that time who killed his father and his brothers, his father's companions, uncles. But for the sake of Muslim unity, we can find a great epitomized, very important dua, dua number 27 in Sahih Kamilatul Sajjadiyah. Then we find the task of Imam Muhammad Baqir Salam at the time when the ruler had to come to seeking his help on the issue of Muslim currency and coin making. Imam Muhammad Baqir Salam was there who helped. This was all for Muslim unity only. Then we find in the person of Imam Jafar Sadiq Salam, he was running the seminary in which Muslims of all walks of life, all fiqh and jurisprudence, they were just coming over there, and they attended, and there were 4,000, and even some of the historians have become the imams of their leader of their madhab, like Imam Abu Hanifa. He was his student. And also in mysticism also there came some in irfan, in fiqh, in usul fiqh, in hikmatul muta'aliya or ilm al-kalam, in dialect. We find not only that, in chemistry we have Geber, is Jabir ibn Hayyan, Geber, and Geber in chemistry. So there were some his students who were in metaphysical studies, and some were in physical sciences, like Geber in chemistry, and so on and so forth. So all Muslims, not only at the time of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, the Muslims and all Muslim schools of thought and works were surrounding him, but even the non-Muslims, like the Indian physicians, doctors, they also used to get benefit from Imam Sadiq and Imam alayhi salam. So is this, we find that how Imam Sadiq salam has preserved the unity of Muslims, the unity of mankind, like the Shuhada and Imam Amir ibn Salam before him. And in that we find that on the seerah, on the lines of Imam Musa Kazim al salam till we reach to 11th Imam, we find that how Ahle Bait alayhi salam has preserved the unity among the Muslims. That at times required, whenever the rulers and the government, people have asked them for any assistance, any help, any counseling, like the famous case of judiciary of the coining of term of Yad in Ayat Sharifa, that the stealers, the thieves' hands are to be cut. The issue was that from where to cut, from the shoulder, from elbow, from the wrist, from where? The Imam said it should be from just the fingers will be cut, because with that he has not done this assassin that he should be deprived of the salat, in which in sujood there are 7 parts to be put on the ground, and if you cut his hand, then he will be deprived of doing his salat, the life over left to him. So he did the crime sin of once of stealing. It may not deprive him the lifelong deprivation from salat. So, if you look to the seerah of Imam Muhammad Taqi salam, we find that how Rasul Akram sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, before his pronouncing deen as he has come as a Muslim, as a ruler, as a Nabi, as a Mursal Azam, with all before these declarations, we find that how he held the pagan Arabs, the ignorant Arabs, in maintaining unity in the event of putting the foundation stone of Hajar al-Aswad. Right? So in the same way, Aimah al-Salam, this 4th Muhammad, the 3rd Muhammad, 1st Muhammad is Rasulullah sallam, the 2nd Muhammad is Muhammad al-Baqir salam, the 3rd Muhammad is Muhammad ibn Ali Taqi Jawad, and the 5th and the 4th Muhammad is the present Imam of our time. So how this 3rd Muhammad has preserved the Muslim unity, and he has done what Rasulullah ﷺ has done in his earlier time in Arabs, pagan Arabs, and unifying them on the issue of laying the foundation stone of and putting the stone of Aswad, the black stone, Hajar Aswad. And then again from the same household of Ahle Bait, when the issue of Tafsir bil Rai was introduced to misguide the Muslims from Quran, quoting Qurani ayat and taking the meaning of their choices. This has been the pagan, old, ancient practice of enemies of Islam. Unfortunately, this has been injected now also. And that time it was during the time of Imam Hassan al-Askari Islam, it was at peak. Tafsir bil Rai was done even during the times of other Rahimah, right from the time of Imam Ali Islam. If there were no misinterpretations and Tafsir bil Rai, there could have been the question of any other schools than the one original Islam which Rasulullah brought. And because of those interpretations, we find the 73 schools have come up. But at its peak, to misguide people from Islam, this was the one that was done at the hands of Ishaq Kindi, the Christian. And he was quoting the ayat from out of context, out of place, and was misguiding Muslims. And at the time, those who saved Quran and the Muslims and brought back Muslims to the fold of Islam, he was Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam, Hassan ibn Ali al-Askari alayhi salam. And of course, the present Imam, Hazrat Sahib al-Zaman, Ajalallahu Ta'ala Sharif, for whom the riwayats have come, that when he will come, he will not only unite the Muslims and Christians, but the entire mankind. He will remove all this, the waswas and sudur nas, and then afwaja, that all peoples of different walks of life, walks of schools of thoughts, they will enter into the fold of Islam at the hands of Al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan. So we find the endeavours of all A'immah salam, that how they have done for the Muslim Ummah, the unity to preserve, and also the mankind, the entire mankind to be around them. Whether we say इंसान को बेदार तो हो लेने दो, हर कौम पुकारेगी हमारे हुसैन, or we see how all, irrespective of caste and creed, the Muslims were around in the seminaries of Imam Jafar salam, Imam Baqir salam, and Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhim salam. And then how all Muslims were saved from the Tafsir bil Rai sins which Ishaq Kindi was misguiding to Muslims, and it was preserved by the Tafsir bil Rai was countered by Imam Hassan ibn Ali salam. And after which the Muslims got a victory, ideological victory over Ishaq Kindi's claims about the Quran, that what he was looking for. So, and finally we reach to Sahib al-Zaman Ajalallahu Sharif, that when he will come, he will bring back the entire mankind into one fold of guidance of Allah Azza wa Jal. Let us pray that Allah make us among the supporters of Hujjat ibn al-Hasan, in whose era and time we are living in, and we be his supporters, inshallah ta'ala al-Musta'an, and pray that Allah helps us, guide us. And inshallah in our next episode we will throw light on how the Shia ulama have endeavored for the Muslim unity after the major occultation of Hazrat Sahib al-Zaman, how his heirs, whether in Ghaibat al-Sughra, the appointed ones, the four ones, and in Ghaibat al-Kubra, they have done this duty of preserving unity of Muslims. Till then, Wassalamu alaikum wa Rahmatullahee wa Wabarakaatuh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum wa sahil makhrajahum wa shunna ma'hum wa rizqna shafa'atahum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma kun li waliyika al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan salawatuka alayhi wa ala abaihi fi hadhihi as-sa'ati wa fi kulli sa'a. Waliyyan wa hafidhan wa qaidan wa nasiran wa dalilan wa 'ayna حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. اللهم اجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وأتباعه وشيعته والراضين بخير والله بنعم. اللهم صل على محمد آل محمد عجل فرجهم وسهل مخرجهم واشرنا معهم وارزقنا شفاعتهم. اللهم صل على محمد آل محمد وعجل فرجهم وسهل مخرجهم واشرنا معهم وارزقنا شفاعتهم. اللهم صل على محمد